What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another fun episode here of The Sound of Orange with me and Matt. As you know, we introduced ourselves last week, so you have a little bit more knowledge about us. And last week we went over how to build habits to get started, for your fitness goal, mental, whatever it is, just holistic wellness overall. Now we're going to go and add a little bit more into that, but this we thought about giving actually tips and ideas of underrated ways to get yourself uh, not only started but consistent if you already have started, since we are now in February and we are obviously right now we actually just done talking about how cold it is. So, it's a challenging time to get ourselves into the gym. So these tips are probably more important now than ever. Now, other than that, Matt, what would you say your most helpful tool that you use to get yourself consistent to the gym right now?
I think for consistency, you have to focus on the things that you can do. And with that, that's why I think the most one of the most underrated things anybody can do is just walking every single day. And when I say walking, I'm not even talking about, like cardio where we're getting that heart rate up, but just walking. Um,
Yeah.
because just 7 to 10,000 steps a day really can solve more problems than most supplements. It'll improve your insulin sensitivity, your digestion, your stress, your sleep. So, and the recovery cost on it is very low, and the skill barrier is low. So it's something anybody can do. If you did nothing else but just walk daily, you're already going to be healthier than 70% of adults. So walking is a huge one for me. How about yourself, Diego?
Let's see. Walking is good. Yeah. If you do it, definitely healthier than probably me too. Because right now the weather is a little tough to be walking in. So anywhere you can find that walking is definitely great. If it's in the office, at home, and if the temperature rises above 20 degrees, put that jacket on and enjoy the nice warmish weather. Because that's what warm is to us this year, at least. For me, my the tool I use the most is making sure I've actually done this since when I moved to my apartment. Is being somewhere where going to the gym is not too far. It's very close, very easy and accessible to me. So I have the luxury of actually having a gym inside my apartment. So I have a two-bedroom. One of them I made strictly a gym. So no matter what the temperature is, I always have. And I think that is the biggest tool I've used for my fitness is just having access right there at a fingertip. Snap the fingers. I can just get to the gym because I have it right there. Because probably like most people, the moment I have to go outside when it's -10 is pretty discouraging for me to go to the gym. Even walking is pretty discouraging when it's -10 outside. So at least that aspect, no matter what the temperature is, that will never be a problem for me. Even if a gym was near me as well, that would also be very helpful. So I would say having yourself some type of access to the gym, if it's a work gym, home gym, a gym right around your block, just somewhere in the proximity where you can get there without having to feel like it's a commute. Some people have to drive, some people have to commute, take a train. So if you can cut that commute time down and make it more accessible, I think that has been the best underrated tool that I've used. Do you know any more underrated tools that maybe people of your clients use or friends,
Yeah,
family, whatever it is?
100%. And actually, speaking about that and eliminating the friction of getting to the gym, I've had clients here at this facility that will leave their gym bag in their locker, and it's kind of like got their stuff to go home too. So I had a gentleman yesterday. He was very close to not working out, but because he had to come to the gym and like I was there, but like he had to walk through, get his stuff. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So again, he had eliminated that friction. Had his gym bag in the. If you're at a site where you've got the gym right there, put your gym bag at least in your car so you don't have to go home and then go to the gym. But if you can do it, keep it in the locker room throughout the day if you're working at a place that has a gym there, that right there is can save you from missing countless amount of workouts. So that's a small one that I've actually seen in action as soon as yesterday. So
Yeah, just making little points here and there where really eliminating the excuses, the excuse factors as much as we can,
Yeah,
because if we give ourselves an inch, we might take a mile,
hundred
honestly.
percent.
Where if like, oh, I can't go because I forgot my bag, or oh, I can't go, it's too far, it's too cold out, or oh, I can't go, there's a new episode of The Bachelor, I can't miss it. So there's things, if we can do our best to eliminate those, as you would say, like, oh, bring a gym bag to the car. So now the elimination of I don't have my gym stuff with me, it's at home. Well, I actually brought it. That's no longer a priority. Now I can fight these other excuses, but at least that won't be a problem too. So that
Yeah,
one is solved. And maybe one less excuse was the reason, was the difference between a workout and a non-workout.
hundred
So
percent.
that's very good to put those little things in between. And eventually, if you have enough of those fillers of, I was like, okay, I have this, that, that. And I was like, most likely I am now going to do this because there's less reason to me not to do it than there's to do it.
I
So
think
those have
too.
been, I think that's a very key thing. Hmm?
Yeah, I mean, no, but people like that work out in the morning. They are some of the most consistent folks that I've seen. One, because they've established the habit, but also because there's not that whole day of things getting in the way. If you got, I'm going to work out after work, like you said, now all of these things can creep up, and these different. Oh, I got to do this. This, I didn't know this is going to happen, so I have to call an audible. I can't work out. You eliminate the friction before that even happens. So if you can move your workouts earlier in the day, either before work or if you can do it midday, like at lunch, and schedule it like an appointment, I'm a big proponent of that. That will, again, when we look at the totality of the year, that will net you so many more workouts that you will have done that you probably would have skipped in the past if you were to hold it for after work. So that right there
Yeah.
can do a lot.
And then what also that I know some people use are enhancements or challenges, as you will. So like equipments that can help you, like walking, right? Walking pads or walking desks when you work are definitely blown up a lot more. So like those equipments and pieces of enhancers or like challenges, like for example, fun thing we're going to ask the audience here that Kanima brought up yesterday. Our chat went off and divided our section into two. Was, would you rather get $2 million up front or $15 per push up for the rest of your life, right? So I thought about that push up thing for a while, like an underrated. I was like, imagine if I just gave myself a challenge. I mean, not the much, like I didn't get money, but I was like, every time I'm able to do 40 push ups, I enter myself in some type of reward system. If I'm able to do 50 push ups, I'm gonna get myself like a back help or something like that, or I'm gonna give myself this, or I'm gonna give myself that, or I'm gonna allow myself to do X because I did Y, or X Y because I did X. So I also thought those are something I know some people use. If it's not like their own reward system, it's social challenges. So like they have friends they know. Like right now, a coworker actually of ours is doing the challenge with other friends. Whoever can get the most steps in the month of February. So things like that can also be an underrated tool to get yourself, if not going, consistent if you are going, because now you have this accountability factor of other people in your circle that you know. And if I'm, at least me, if I'm having a challenge with the people in my circle, I gotta represent. You can't let them beat me. Bragging rights would be there. They never let me live it down. So I think that would be a nice way, especially for those who are trying to find a way to stay consistent and to stay motivated to try out there. But I chose a one push up for $15. Matt chose a 2 million. Just let that be known, guys. I chose the hard work. Matt was a little lazy.
I
Just
think that
want to
I'll
put that
take it
out
right now.
there.
I'll take it right now. I'll take that compound interest on that. Yeah, but no, that was a great question, and no, there's a really good points um, that you bring up. Those are really good. I mean, anything you can do to gamify the process to make it fun and make it exciting for yourself, whether it is breaking your own personal records in the gym with weights that you're lifting, or distances that you're walking, or steps that you're hitting, or you're trying to keep a streak going, or you're going against your friends. There's so many ways to keep it fun and interesting. And I don't know anybody who doesn't like some sort of challenge, whether it's against others, whether it's against themselves. That is so much more than just, oh, I got to work out because my doctor told me to, or because I know it's the right thing to do. It yields this personal development. This just like, I want to compete. We all kind of have that competitor in us, and anything we can do to bring that out, all of a sudden the motivation, it doesn't fade.
Now, what would you say? Because those are what we're doing our underrated things to keep ourselves. What would you say is the most overrated thing that you've seen, at least, for people to try to keep themselves going? Because sometimes I like to believe going, as we actually spoke about last week, sometimes too much is a real big problem.
Yeah.
There's like overrated stuff here and there. What has been the one that you've seen the most affect, either if not clients of yours or people you've seen come to the gym?
Yeah, the biggest thing for sure, and they do way too many things. So, like health, people fail with health or with workouts because they try to overload, and it's just you need to dial it back. Pick a few behaviors, get really good at those, and then do them daily, and then just stop stacking complexity. Because every time we make things more complex, we're giving ourselves more of a reason to not follow through. Oh, I couldn't because this, and then because it was complex. It's like, no, no, no. Simplify the heck out of it. Stack things you can do, basically, basics. And then just instead of adding more tools, stop trying to optimize every little thing. So, because it's never from a lack of information. I think now people have too much information and they're constantly information hoarders and gathering more and more. And I got to take in this. And it's just like, no, 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 just pick a few things that are the biggest needle movers in your life and do those. And if you do those things, you will be successful.
Yeah. And one of my things that at least I get this from my clients too, and I always have to remind them because I think this is the most overrated that they are. If I wasn't there, they would probably ruin it themselves. What they do is they show me either if it's not this celebrity, this person they follow on social media, these things, and they're like, "Why am I not like this? Why am I not like that?" And now it's like comparison is, as we all know, the thief of joy. So I think comparing yourself to this standard or goal that you see and you want is kind of the biggest killer that I've seen for most of them. Because once they don't get that, because fitness, as we know, is a game of not even inches, it's a game of centimeters, millimeters. In fact, it's like little things that you have to keep going. It's not a sprint, so it doesn't come to us as fast as we want it to. And when people see that the comparison that they give themselves, like, oh, I want to be like this, but I see no change, or at least no significant change in these first few months that I'm close to that, I'm just gonna give up things like that. So that to me has been the most challenge that I've seen people, at least who have come to our gym or work with me, or I have to be like, hey guys, like let's not compare your victories or your victories, and they're different than this person because there's so many factors you have to differentiate. So understanding is one of the most important things. Understand, hey, this is going to take a while. It's going to come a little different for you than it would for me because we're two different people. So as long as you can understand and you can change the mindset from comparison to acceptance, to like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. I think that's also a nice indicator of how we keep ourselves um, consistent to get to the stay at the gym because comparing is just one of the killers that I've seen the most of.
Yeah, and when you're comparing yourself to celebrities whose job it is to literally stay in shape, they're being paid
Mm,
to stay in shape, to look phenomenal for a particular role, for a particular thing. Everybody is dealt their own, biology, their own limitations, their own lifestyle. And to your point, you are an N of one. So you have to only compare your progress against yourself, put things into perspective, and keep stacking those wins. And sometimes when you zoom out and you really look at where you've gone or how far you've come in just, let's say, a year's time or 6 months, I would also say that would lead me to the next thing that people don't do. They look way too narrowly. It's like here we are in February. It's like, oh man, I've only lost like 4 pounds. You only lost 4 pounds in a month. That's phenomenal. Let's map that out now another 6 months. You know, that is
mm,
what that I mean, that's a tremendous amount of weight. That's 20, 25 pounds that you're gonna lose by summer. you have to, you can't look at things in a vacuum. And it's so easy with these social media trends or celebrities, these quick 30-day, I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. It's like, no, 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 no. Let's take a step back and let's look at this from a full lens. And it completely changes the perspective. And perspective is a huge part of staying in the game.
So let's say, you saw a young Matt doing some pull-ups out there. He's 18, starting to get into this fitness journey. And in your mind, what are you telling him? It's like, hey, to you, what's the most underrated thing, right? Where it's like, hey, I swear if you did this one thing, like sky's gonna be the limit for you in your fitness and holistic wellness journey. Like if you do this one thing, if it's hey, if you rest, or hey, if you do this, or hey, if you focus on doing push-ups, because eventually you're gonna have a debate of $2 million or $50 push-ups, whatever it could be.
Well, if you're talking about me specifically, I would say don't
Yeah.
fall for the hype of bulking up because you'll just get fat. And what I mean by that is like,
Yeah.
when you're a skinnier guy, you think I just got to eat to get mass, eat to get mass. And what happens is you fall into this trap of like, I'm eating more to put on size, and then all of a sudden it's not going where you want it to go, and then you lose that weight and then you end back where you started. So I would have saved myself a lot of time personally. For me, I would have done that. Now the interesting thing about a question like this, and I love a question like this, Diego, is that there's stuff and mistakes we make that I don't know if I necessarily would have changed because they're learning experiences. And when you learn from them, they do kind of complete your whole journey. Like we're all on our journey, and it's kind of what makes us where we are now. Are there certain things that could have collapsed time? I think yes. I probably would have, to my first point, done less instead of trying to do more. I would have focused on getting stronger at less things than trying to follow every routine that I found in some bodybuilding magazine or some online forum. I would have stuck to more basics, and that would have, I think, time collapsed things for me. But 18-year-old Matt, those lessons that you learn is what leads you to not only be able to help yourself, but then help others along the way so that they don't make the same errors.
Yeah, that's a very great point to put out. And the reason I asked why, for your experience, is because actually that bulking thing, I hear it more often than none, especially in my corporate job. So people can see us as trainers, as people who are in the industry, we kind of had that same mistakes. So when you think, oh, I'm the only one who like believe in this or that, I was like, no, people in our profession sometimes, we had to learn it the hard way as well. We had to mess up a bit. So that's still great information to bring out to everybody because I think honestly, in the start of this year, I've heard I'm going to eat everything to bulk up at least I would say a handful of times, but somewhere within 5 to 10 times I heard it. So it's still a thing that people are trying to do. So hopefully that gives at least those viewers a more understanding. I was like, hey, this is you're not the only one who believed this. We also did. We did this, but we learned from this. So it happens, and definitely a great experience on your end to develop the knowledge you have now. For me, the thing that I would tell younger Diego is he's obviously doing his 1,000 push-ups because I was in force of nature. I
Yeah.
would tell myself to it's okay to like not go to the gym because I wouldn't be overworking when I first started. I thought more is more, which more is more in different senses, but the less is more did not hit me as hard as it should have because got out there fresh in my CPT, ready to take on. I was like, oh, I know anything and everything. And I was giving myself like almost every single day of working out. And I didn't really truly understand the value of what rest. The less is more like, if I want to hit these goals, I want to do this stuff, I got to really learn how to take a step back. So I think that is that's also something that I want to make sure everybody understands that sometimes you got to listen to your body and try not to force things out. Because I was trying to force things out. And now, if I feel one rep, now I'm like, no, my shoulders isn't like that. We're gonna call it a day. I want to take a little rest, and then we come back for it. And usually, when I take a rest, I come back. For the most part, at least in my experience, I've come back a little bit stronger. If not, I've stayed the same. I haven't really lost anything because I decided to. So, though that was probably the most underrated thing I could have told myself when I was younger. That definitely would have helped me progress quicker instead of just trying to max it all out.
I think
But
that will
as I
be
said,
one of the biggest themes of 2026 that you'll see is you're going to see a lot of people that will admit that they'll do a lot less and they'll find that their results are better. And because they're allowing themselves to truly recover, and also by doing less overall volume, their intensity on those workouts improves. Because now it's like, hey, I don't have so many sets or I don't have so many days I have to get to the gym. So now when I go, that session is even more valuable. That session is even more efficient. It's more effective. And so you get to kill two birds with one stone because you get your time back. You're not spending all your time in the gym. And for a lot of the folks that we both work with, that is incredibly important because we want to be as time efficient in the gym as possible. We don't want to spend 2 hours a day there. And also we want to get the best results possible. And you can honestly get both by
yeah,
doing exactly what we're saying.
yeah, and hopefully, bad information spreads out quicker and quicker because I think now people are definitely understanding it more. The more the internet is out, the more information can be spread, and the more information can be spread, the more people can understand. So hopefully, 2026 will be the year of rest. The year of understanding rest.
Yeah.
But those are my uh, takes on the underrated things of what people should be at least thinking about doing if they are already not doing.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll just add one more thing to that, Diego. Like we're
Yeah,
running our we're doing a weight loss challenge right now here at the WWE. And it's when you restrict yourself down to like just a few workouts a week, as opposed to, let's say you're doing 3 strength workouts a week, as opposed to 6. Well, now throughout the process, you're wanting to do more workouts. You're itching to get more. You're itching to get back into the gym. You can't wait for your next session. Whereas when you're doing the 5, 6 sessions a week, you're like, oh man, when's my next rest day? I can't wait for this train to stop and be done. Whereas, no, no, no. When you pace it properly, you can't wait to keep going. You even want more. And that's a sign of a really good program because now it's like that momentum, that motivation, it doesn't fade.
yeah. And then the intensity that you brought up, we do go harder. So now you definitely, because you go harder. I mean, when I work out 3 times a week, I do less volume, but I'm going hard. I don't dread it as much because I know there's not also a lot to do. So I just know, like, they for the average person, they usually do 3 to 5 sets. If most people don't know, it's 3 to 5 sets is somewhere within the average. Let's call them gym goer or the gym bros as we see. But usually, if you take that to 2 sets and you go very hard, that's something you don't be like, you don't have to dread that much. I only have to do this twice. All right. And then when you feel it and the outcomes come more than none, now you're like, well, I'm very sore. Now I'm going to take these rest days even more seriously and you can recover better. So, really, it will enhance every aspect of what you would think working out gives you. So, it enhances your experience, meaning you're itching to do it more because you're doing less. It enhances your performance because you're doing less, you're going to try more. It enhances your recovery because there's more days to recover, things like that. So it's hard to find anything that wouldn't be beneficial with more. uh,
100%.
And
Agreed.
I think that is the most underrated thing that we could definitely tell you out there. So if you're not resting and things to the account. You might want to take those things into account. Hopefully, by hearing us today, you're itching for your next rest day. We hope, you know, we hope you're itching for your next rest day. But for now, yeah, that's a list of underrated things to get yourself, if not started or consistent that you're going right now, to keep that into consideration, to keep that train chugging along as you're going through your fitness journey. Uh, as always, we appreciate you for tuning in. If you have any questions, please feel to comment on sections and we'll address them when we read them. And hopefully, this helps more as we go along next week. We'll even talk about more information to be even more helpful. Can you believe that? I know. Any else? Any other last things you want to tell the folks, Matt, before we take off?
No, I think that's it. I think the overarching theme again with this one is do less so you can do more. Do less overall so that when you're in there in the gym, you're making those reps, those sessions count, and that is really the key. Do that, you'll be in it for the long haul, and your results will be phenomenal.
Wonderful. You heard the man. Couldn't agree with him anymore. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Peace.